In the United States generally, we've seen a decline in cigarette smoking prevalence over the past few decades, but we've also seen inequalities in smoking. So, for example, smoking is disproportionately high among American Indians and Alaska Natives. This data just underscore the need for us to implement interventions that reduce the gap and bridge, prevalence across all racial groups.
When it comes to quitting, rural dwellers have a lower quit ratio compared to the urban area, and we think that's linked to other services that are available in urban areas and not necessarily the quit advice given, because that's more or less similar.
Gender plays a big role both in tobacco use but also in how we interpret and how we are impacted by tobacco control policies. Europe actually is the only continent that has the highest percentage of female smokers globally, and the decline in smoking prevalence among females is the lowest, the smallest decline across all the globe. Packaging and labeling of tobacco products, they affect very differently males and females. Males look at packaging, females look at health claims. So there are different aspects that we must take into account when we want to combat the tobacco epidemic. Smoking
can contribute to poor socioeconomic status, but at the same time, poor socioeconomic status can also lead to smoking. And we want to focus on very broad interventions that address not just smoking behavior but other indices of well-being, because these are very, very tightly linked with smoking behavior.
Looking at disparities helps you to make the programs even more acceptable to the population that need it the most. We as researchers need to provide this kind of information so that the people who are responsible for this can actually use it.
We're able to monitor and see how these policies impact population use, and then we can come back and inform policymakers that this specific activity works, this specific activity looks that it might work, and here's the evidence.
From an ethical perspective, from an equity perspective, we want even the minority groups, the most disadvantaged groups, to do well, and that's why it's very important for us to try to bridge disparities in smoking.